Hey guys. Hey everyone. So my name is Adam Bumad. I'm a security engineer, and I'm currently in Santa Fe, in a Santa Fe hotel right now. But I've been in Santa Fe for the past 2 days, and Santa Fe is lovely. It really is a very localized city, and everyone knows each other, and just like the buildings are very beautiful, but all that to say, the reason why I'm here in Santa Fe is for a conference, the Nation of Makers conference, or rather NOMCON, and it happened June 9th through 10th. Um, and there's still a spillover, right? Like people are still conversating, and people are still going to be meeting up tomorrow. As with most conferences, how that goes. The whole goal of this conference was pretty much to promote relationship building across lines of regular conversation. So generating some sort of sense of community throughout the whole maker supporting entities. So essentially connecting people, being a router, connecting people um, to others, and sort of directing questions all around. Um, and the conference was great. And I actually gave an Ignite talk, and you can sort of tell my voice is a little bit raspy because I've been talking all weekend. It's conference season. Really looking forward to B-Sides Las Vegas and DEF CON. Um, but all that aside, yeah, so I gave a talk on something that I'm actually starting up, which is a community mesh net in Baltimore. Because Baltimore actually has a third of its population without internet access. Um, and I'm trying to bridge that gap. It's something that I've been researching actually in depth for the past couple of months. Probably, I think, since the net neutrality ruling really is when I started taking it seriously. But I had always sort of humored the idea of starting an ISP or wireless internet service provider when I was in high school. Um, but now I'm sort of actually, because networking was my first love, and it was something that I'm still really passionate about. Now I don't really get to work with networking equipment on a day-to-day basis, um, but yeah, it's something that means a lot to me, and sort of pairing that technology with people, underserved populations that need this equipment, that need this networking coverage in their areas, is, I think, very, very important work. Um, so, without further ado, here's the raw footage that I'm about to play. If you want to stick around, and in a week or two, I'm sure that they're actually going to be releasing the official video. Ignite is going to release the official video. So, awesome. Enjoy the video.
And I'm a first-generation Rock American. I'm proud to call Baltimore my home, Charm City. The same place that in the 90s featured a large school institution doing lead tests on families, inviting them into homes only to know their fate, was all for a failed experiment. The same place that suffers from a lack of internet access. 74,000 homes, or roughly a third of the population, without the very thing that defines the backbone of our 21st century. Now, all this to say, I love Baltimore. Baltimore's my home, and I want to help make it a better place. With internet access being defined as a human right per the UN, we must do everything we can to ensure our communities have internet access that is reliable. And note how I said reliable, but a few other words that I should mention are free, open, and accessible, all tenets of an open network. Oh man. To that point, there's actually a group in New York City that is helping distribute network access. I'm going to get to them in a bit. But New York actually suffers from a lack of internet access as well. A fourth of the population without internet access. ISPs are for-profit entities that have to answer to shareholders. And despite what Warren Buffett may say, these companies are without moral obligation to provide affordable, reliable access in these neighborhoods. So enter mesh networks. Mesh networks are a network of devices working together to distribute internet access. They're pretty much a way to provide wireless internet in a dense population. And when we look at dense populations, that's typically where, oh, I think this GIF is staying still. Oh. Perhaps. Oh, interesting. One moment, please. So yeah, mesh networks, they help provide wireless access over a dense population. And when we look at our dense populations, we think about cities. And that's actually historically where the most underserved populations can be found. So this is a way for us to actually bridge the gap and provide reliable internet access, such as the group that I mentioned before, NYC Mesh is doing. So NYC Mesh is a group in New York City that for the past 3 years has been working to provide internet access, connecting thousands of people with reliable, free internet, public internet. And this is something we should all be replicating, something we should all be doing in each and one of our cities and our states. Because when I see an access point, when I see a cell tower, I see something beautiful. I see access to information, the internet gateway to ideas that will help inspire future 21st century engineers. We should all be looking in our communities and asking ourselves, what's being done to help improve things, whatever those things may be, and how can I be a part of the solution? There's a group actually in Detroit that is asking themselves that exact same question, because Detroit suffers from a lack of internet access as well. 40% of the population without internet access. It's ridiculous. And there's actually a group in Detroit called the Equitable Internet Initiative that actually just last year started a group in their neighborhood called the Digital Stewards Program. And what they're essentially doing is providing networking training for free to those in their communities, so that way they can help build network infrastructure all around. Once again, another key thing that we should be looking in our cities and saying, how can we make this happen? Because this stuff is very inexpensive. And when we think about mesh networks, they're very intimate in that they're a bunch of routers working together to sort of blanket a neighborhood with internet access. I think that is something that truly is beautiful. And to that point, just to talk a little bit more about what the initiative is actually doing, they, for the past couple of years, have been providing internet access throughout Detroit. It's a place that has been forgotten by big telecoms, but as time will show, it is up to the communities to actually provide that internet access. And one thing that I'll note as well, you may have noticed in my photos, the majority are actually highlighting communities, highlighting the people, because the technology is tried and true. The thing that we tend to forget is that we need to ask ourselves, how does the technology actually serve the people? What can we do with that technology to actually improve our communities? Regarding funding and sustainability, there's a group called the Internet Society that you can actually write grants towards, and they will help you start up a mesh network. New York City is actually running on, I believe it's $30,000 or $40,000 a year just to actually get that up, which is actually amazing when you think about how much it typically costs to run fiber. This is a picture I took back at one of the net neutrality rallies a couple months ago. Just really wanted to highlight that with net neutrality back in the news, we should be asking ourselves, once again, what can I do to be a part of the solution in our communities, in our networks, and provide that access, because that access is something that's beautiful. So in conclusion, I'd just like to say, we're all makers, let's build networks, and let's build communities together. Thank you so much.